Okay, okay. All right, Mike gets a special thank you because he reached out and we scrambled to put this together immediately. Also want to thank my staff for dropping everything to make this happen. You're here somewhere. Thank you so much. Mike.
Thank you. Well, it's an honor to stand here next to Councilmember Green, all of you, the amazing group of veterans who came out behind me. And so I'm excited to speak to all of you, but I'm mainly here to speak directly to members of the Oregon National Guard, to members of the Guard and other mobilized troops around the entire country, and in particular the 200 soldiers who got orders to deploy to Portland, the war zone of Portland. My name is Mike Preisner. I was a non-commissioned officer in the active duty U.S. Army, and I served 12 months in the invasion of Iraq. I would like to start by saying that when I packed my 3-year-old son and newborn baby daughter into our car to begin the 3-day drive to Portland, Oregon, going to start a whole new life somewhere, I did it because I fell in love with this place. I fell in love with the people, the born and bred Oregonians. I fell in love with the other transplants, who also, wanted to find the magic in Portland and followed it. And I fell in love with the immigrant communities here, people who came from all over the world to start a life here. I came here because I knew this is where I wanted my children to grow up. And Portlanders know that Trump's characterization of this city as a hellscape, as lawless, as a war zone are lies. But they are lies with a purpose. His depiction of Portland is a fantasy that lives in the minds of a minority of the right wing in this country. People who have never been here, people who spend a lot of time online, too much time online probably. They are fed a sensational depiction of Portland for an industry of rage bait and content farming, exploited by the mass media, by a disingenuous ecosystem of influencers, and by this administration itself. The reason Trump is relying so much on throwing this red meat to this minority base, this small sector of the population, saying he's going to send soldiers to the war zone of Portland, is because he knows his administration has failed to address the conditions of working class people in this country. He knows he's losing support because of that. He also knows that he is embroiled in perhaps the most explosive political scandal in American history, his close association with the most notorious pedophile and child sex trafficker in the world, and his cabinet's clear effort to cover it up. They have been desperate to do whatever they can to suck up media attention so that stays out of the headlines. All Trump has is a constant stream of spectacles of distraction. Portland has become just the latest city to pay the price for that, and the Oregon National Guard are just the latest soldiers to be used as props in that effort. Now, it would be bad enough if this deployment was simply a media distraction, but it is so much more. This past week in Chicago, ICE agents dressed up as special operations soldiers rappelled from Black Hawk helicopters into a Black and Latino neighborhood. They pointed assault rifles at the faces of American citizens. They detained, without cause, American citizens. They detained children, and according to witnesses, zip-tied them together as they were let out of their building. They proceeded to raid the entire building, kicking down the doors of residents with no warrant, no probable cause, pulling people out of their beds with no clothes on, zip-tying them and throwing them into vans for hours. Witnesses said there was black people in one van and immigrants in another van. And immigrants who were detained, who most of whom were doing everything they were told to do to become citizens of this country and following all of the rules. What has happened to them? They have been sent with no due process through a brutal system to torture prisons in places like Florida and El Salvador. Those military forces shot flashbangs at everyone, terrorizing this neighborhood. It was a military invasion of an American city.
Shame.
All of those agents hid their faces, but they do not hide what they are doing. In fact, they celebrate, turning raids like these into the most depraved social media hype videos to be tweeted out directly by the White House. These are people motivated by hate, not making this country a better place. These operations, the one in Chicago, and so many more are antithetical to any of the constitutional rights and protections we are taught our entire lives this system, and especially our military, exists to defend. This is the reality of the type of operation the Oregon National Guard is being mobilized to support. You soldiers who are mobilized for this are probably thinking, I won't be doing anything like that. That's what ISIS do. It has been demonstrated all across the country by each of Trump's deployments of soldiers, both federal and guard. The role of these soldiers is to protect ICE as they carry out these operations. These disgusting and unconstitutional activities, being able to carry them out unimpeded, not inconvenienced by protesters in the community. In other cities, communities have come together to try to protect their neighbors. Your job as a Guard soldier in Portland is to prevent that from happening here. Your job is to thwart the democratic and constitutional rights of our community to protest against ICE. Your job is to make people scared, to oppose what is happening in our backyard, to instill fear, to be a barrier between the unconstitutional activities of ICE and the people. When Trump talks about using the military to fight the quote-unquote enemy within, this is who he is talking about. He is talking about everyone that you see standing up here. He's talking about everyone in the crowd that came to hear us. He's talking about anyone in our community who wants to exercise their rights to oppose his agenda. And as a veteran of the Iraq War, and having had to spend 2 decades reflecting every day on that experience, I'm compelled to tell young soldiers today that just because an order is considered lawful does not mean it is right. Everyone knows in their heart of hearts that this is not right. When something is not right, you have to take a stand. Constitutional lawyers have called this deployment an unlawful prototype of a police state, the first step in Trump's march to militarize American cities and subvert democracy. The only thing that can stop subversion of democracy in this way is opposition from the military itself. They know that. That is why they have fired everyone in the military command they think may oppose them. That's why they just summoned everyone to Quantico for a loyalty pledge. As Trump said, if you don't like what I'm saying, you're going to lose a rank and lose your career. That's why they fired all the JAG officials, the Judge Advocate General officials, who may file legal challenges to the things that they're doing. What they have done is to make the burden of protecting democracy and constitutional rights fall on the rank and file soldiers and to junior officers, to the enlisted. That is not a burden you have chosen as soldiers. That is not a burden that you deserve. But it is a burden that this administration has placed upon you. Your commander has told you, as we know in a leaked letter he put out to all the 200 Guard soldiers deploying here, that even if you disagree with this, and most likely you do disagree with this, that you must set a professional example, because this is about something bigger than you. We are here to say that we completely agree with that statement. That is something that is bigger than you can be Trump and his racist, fascist agenda, an attack on our immigrant brothers and sisters, an attack on democratic rights, or that something bigger than you can be standing on the right side of history. And there is no doubt this is a moment of great historical gravity. Soldiers have rights. You have rights to tell your command you believe your orders are illegal and not follow them. You have rights to walk away. You have rights even when you're AWOL. You have a community of supporters and legal experts who will stand with you if you exercise those rights. And even if you're not ready to take that step, when you are out of uniform, you are a private citizen. You have the right to speak against this. You have the right to join us in the protest movement against it. You are welcome here. The people you see behind you, the veterans that are here, these are the people that will be opposing ICE and opposing the National Guard deployment, and we want you to join us here. Veterans say, troops off our streets. Veterans say,
Troops off our streets!
veterans say,
Troops off our streets!
veterans say,
Troops off our streets!
Clearly, we are all one right now. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge my 2 sisters, Democratic Socialists in office, Councilors Koyama Lane and Murillo, and Canal, who just showed up. So, Vice President Koyama Lane. I'm so happy to see them here. I think when you see these 4 in office, we've got lots of transformation ahead. These councilors have been working on so many different policies that you have yet to see come forward to protect our immigrant rights here in the city, to further codify our sanctuary resolution into law, and so much more. Without further ado, we've got Chris. There you go. Okay, also doing second academics.
Sucks to go up to these
Take a
violence.
picture with that sign. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Chris. I'm a 6-year Army infantry veteran, and I'm with About Face Veterans Against the War. We are a post 9/11 service members and veterans organization aiming to end the foreign policy
Oh, yeah, I got your
of
photo.
war and use of military weapons, tactics, and values in communities all across the country, including ours right now. Many of us went into the military with lofty expectations about our time in service. When you're sold the idea of the military, you're told about the glory of duty to your country, the honor of service, the financial benefits of being able to go to college without being burdened by debt for decades. The reality is far different. While you're sold glory and honor, safety and security, service members are frequently commanded to do things that go against their morals and against the law. Is it glorious to occupy Afghanistan for 20 years, destroying their country and giving the Taliban billions of dollars worth of equipment when we leave?
No.
Is it honorable to kill 1 million Iraqis because the intelligence community and our president lied to us and said that they had weapons of mass destruction?
No.
Are service members kept safe and secure when they're exposed to burn pits and extreme levels of chemicals that give them cancer?
No.
What about the communities they leave behind, contaminated with depleted uranium from their ammunition?
No.
No, obviously not. Every person that's forced to do something that doesn't align with their morals and values is injured. Moral injury runs rampant in the U.S. military. That's why one of the leading causes of death for service members and veterans is suicide. About 18 veterans kill themselves every day. There is no honor or glory in repressing people across the globe, and there's no honor or glory in repressing them at home. In the same way service members are lied to about the nature of their service, so too are we lied to about the need for the military in our city. What we're witnessing today is an unconstitutional and undemocratic trampling of our rights. Our primary right in this country is the freedom of speech. That's why it was the First Amendment to the Constitution. The people rightfully protesting ICE and their masked kidnappers have every right to speak their mind. They have every right to stand up for our immigrant community members and say they belong here. Repression of peaceful protest is a crime. It's a violation of the Constitution, and it's a direct attempt from the president to quash speech he doesn't like. Are we surprised that the president, convicted of 34 felonies, is willing to break the law to achieve his aims? No. While he claims to be a law and order president, he is the one responsible for this illegal behavior. He is the one deploying the National Guard against the wishes of our governor and our city. He wants to spend almost $4 million to have these 200 troops protect ICE agents. Why don't we spend that $4 million on something we actually need? Let's invest in housing, or in education, or in healthcare. Let's fill the potholes all over the city.
Woo.
Let's fund preschool for all.
Woo.
Let's do anything but spend more money on ICE and their goons.
Woo.
The same goons who've been kidnapping parents when they go to pick up their children from school. The thugs brutalizing the people peacefully protesting outside their headquarters. Now, let's not forget how history rhymes. In the words of Anne Frank from her diary, January 13th, 1943, quote, "Terrible things are happening outside. Poor, helpless people are being dragged out of their homes. Families are torn apart. Men, women, and children are separated. Children come home from school to find that their parents have disappeared." We don't need to be reminded about the 1930s air that hangs around the Trump administration. But we do need to remember what happened in 1970 when National Guard troops were deployed against protesters at Kent State University and the massacre that ensued. It is not only right to protest the illegal actions of the Trump administration and those enacting his fascistic schemes, it is a duty. If you, like me, took an oath to protect this country, then you have a duty to oppose this president and his illegal machinations. If you are part of this government, you have a duty to disobey. Don't let our country slide into despotism. Don't let our communities don't let our communities succumb to Trump's whims. Courage is contagious. If you're hearing my words and you're a service member or a veteran, I would love for you to get in contact with me after this. Let's get you plugged into a community of people who want to end the military-industrial complex. Let's work together to build a future free of militarism and oppression of all peoples. Free Palestine.
Free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine!
Okay, up next we have Robin. Make your way down to the front. Here you go.
All right, I did not prepare a speech, but thank you for having me. Thank you, Councilman Green, and everyone for coming out here and all the vets. Again, my name is Robin Eckstein. I am an Army veteran. I served from 99 till 2007 and deployed to the Iraq War, right after the initial invasion with the 1st Armored Division. And I can tell you, this is not a war zone. An end of story. I was just briefly contacted and asked to come out here and speak. I'm a homeowner here in Portland, Oregon. I've lived here almost 9 years, and I love it here. I am so grateful to live in this community and be here. Also, as a lesbian woman, this is the bee's knees. Let me tell you, this is the place that you want to be if you are queer. And so I am really, really grateful to be here. And like I said, I just can't say enough. This is not a war zone. I live in Northeast Portland, out in the numbers, and I love it. I have a home there. I have friends, and drove around the city a little bit before I got here. This is a great place. These are lies that are being told. These are the same lies that were being told in 2020 when they were all over the news trying to call this place a war zone. And every time I have had friends come from out of state here, I will lock them in my car because they are scared. They're legit scared. I lock them in my car and I drive them around so they can see that this is an absolutely lovely place. And then, of course, I take them to Powell's. This is a great city. I am so proud to be here and to be here, especially as a veteran, to speak to everyone. I think that the National Guard troops, I know they don't want to deploy here. Frankly, nobody's really talking about it, but they're going to take a pay cut to come out here and deploy. And it's a shit job. They don't want to do it either. So, I don't know, somebody's yelling questions and I'm going to answer now. They don't want to be here either, okay? So let's just remember that for when we're dealing with people, okay? But overall, this is a wonderful city. I'm so glad to be here. I'm really glad for Veterans for Peace to bring me out here and to give me the chance to speak to all of you and to also remind everyone that yes, women do serve in the military. Military. I'm not proud of what's going on right now at all. This is not the country that I deployed for. This is not the country that I signed up for. This is it's beyond words what's going on right now. And we really need to stand up for this. So thank you everybody for coming out here and also just being a voice and posting on social media and letting everybody know that veterans do not want this. We do not want this. The National Guard doesn't want to be coming out here, and we say no to Trump and his dictator administration and the nonsense that they think they can pull over on us. It's not happening. So, all right, thank you again, everybody.
Thank you, Robin. Let's have Tyler come up.
I'm going to be addressing this not only to the individuals here, but also service members. Good afternoon. My name is Tyler Edwards. I served for 5 years in the U.S. Navy as an AFNAF foreman. I was in a line company, I was deployed on a ship, and I was also at a naval hospital overseas. The stated goals of moving troops in Portland and supporting the ICE raids there are to prevent and reduce violence. It has not. Reducing To reduce trafficking of drugs and persons, it has not. And to reduce crime writ large, it has not. A phrase that I think encapsulates this situation: the purpose of a system is what it does.
Yeah.
Despite the stated goals, what the system actually does is terrify people seeking to practice their First Amendment right of free speech. It detains people without charging them with a crime, imprisons them, and traffics them to another country where American taxpayers pay for them to be jailed. It separates children from their families. This is the purpose of the system that the military is being ordered to protect. Cruelty is the product, and cruelty is its intended purpose. I urge service members to recall that they took an oath to protect the Constitution and the rights contained within, not to follow the orders of any specific person, not to protect any specific group. Recognize that failure to protect the Constitution as a matter of just following orders will be remembered as a stain on the history of the military as an organization, but also a weight on you as a person that will carry with you forever. For those of you who join for more material reasons, because you are saddled with debt, or have family members to support, because you'd like to learn a skill or someday attend college, those of you who wanted to leave a place that was dangerous, or you saw no future, for those of you who just want to be able to afford rent and simple amenities, I have sympathy. But please, these challenges were not caused by the people ICE is detaining, nor the populations of people you disagree with politically. The Trump administration, with help from the Democrats before him, manufactured these hardships. Politicians are the reason that it was preferable to sign up to possibly die in defense of your country so that you can simply get by.
Yeah.
There will come a time in the future when you will be asked to do something unlawful, when you will see others in your organization doing things that don't serve the Constitution but tarnish the rights of Americans. Please recognize that you do not need to follow unlawful orders, that you have an obligation to defect from a military that is no longer functioning in the interests of its people. Remember your family and remember your community. A hero is any man or woman who will do the right thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's get a little warmer. Hopefully you know this call and response. When our communities are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back.
Sorry, I doubted you. Okay. All right. One thing I want to make sure I shout out, because this is also a city talking point that I will adhere to. Please keep the PERC hotline in mind so you can report ICE. Be clear when you report. 888-622-1510. You can go to PERC's website, PIRC, their Instagram. And I also want to check again, is Media in the house? Any new people roll up? No, I didn't think so. But I want to shout out the Portland DSA back there, some of our faith leaders who showed up. You know what I'm going to do today. And up next, Colin, you're not too far away.
Afternoon, everyone. My name is Colin Byrne. I was a graduate of the Naval Academy in 2012 and commissioned from there. I served in the Navy for the lion's share of about 15 years. I was E2D backseat operator. So you know Maverick or Top Gun, I was Goose, and that was my job. I wasn't prepared to speak today, so this is all off the cuff. And I just wanted to be a little bit more hopeful. There's a lot of, you wake up every morning and you look at your phone and you talk to people around you. And depending on how plugged in you are, you're anxious, you're tired, you're worn down. And that's on purpose. Every time you look at that app, whether it's Twitter or Reddit or Instagram, they want to bring you down. They want to keep you in a reality of hatred and spiral and anger because it profits exactly what they want. Donald Trump and his cronies know exactly how to make money off of that instrument, that engine, and they know exactly how to make you feel terrible about it. And at the same time, they know how to keep you in your house, just typing away, making you feel like this is the most that I can do. Well, I'm asking all of you, veterans, hero or otherwise, supporters, family members, live in this reality. Show up, be here today, hold a sign, or just stand in the way of what's going on around you.
That's right.
And second, be a part of your community. Standing up, Walking in here today, I was all by myself. I didn't know anyone personally face to face in this group of veterans. I was approached, I was talked to, we shook hands, we exchanged names. That's part of being a community. Being in this reality, being a part of this community is something they cannot take away from you. It is the strongest weapon we have against that. You hear it all the time, the people divided will never be defeated, and that is the truth. So everyone here, reach out to the people around you, walk around your communities, ring doorbells, talk to your neighbors, shake their hands, talk face to face. Especially people that don't look like you, maybe don't speak the same language as you, talk to them, show them the way, show them that together, the people united will never be defeated.
All right, up next, Chris. Charlotte.
How's up? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlie Henderson. I'm a Navy veteran and that served for 7.5 years before separating and moving out to Oregon, a state that I've loved since I was a kid. First, I'd like to thank About Face and Veterans for Peace for putting this together and giving us an opportunity to address this community, our elected officials, and those here in uniform. Next, I'd like to thank everyone that came out today for this event and for everyone out there listening online. You could be doing anything with your time, but you're choosing to listen, and that means a lot. And the reason why it means a lot is because all too often, men and women in uniform are called upon to go into situations and to support initiatives that they might not fully agree with. Often, we see our brothers and sisters, sons and daughters shipped off and put into harm's way on the other side of the planet. This is usually accompanied by stories from the political class about how this group are terrorists, or how that group is a threat to national security, or that the nation needs them to go out and sit in the desert or out in the middle of the ocean in order to project strength or some such thing. They might not like it. It might put an unnecessary amount of stress on them and their loved ones back home. It might put them in harm's way. It might cause them to get sick, lose limbs, see relationships crumble. It might leave them suffering the effects of PTSD. It might even cost them their lives. But they do it. They go into these areas, they defend, they project strength, they maintain good order and discipline, they assimilate to military culture because that is what their country asks of them. And because at all levels of government, dissent will not be tolerated. Everyone here with me knows that. And now the generals and admirals that Pete and Donald talk down to with such disrespect note as well. To my brothers and sisters in uniform right now, my heart goes out to you. Whatever your reasons were for signing your name on that line, I guarantee it wasn't to assist the President's secret police in rounding up members of your communities or to be asked to point your rifles at your fellow citizens. But that is what you're being ordered to do. Orders that are coming down the chain of command from a thin-skinned, billionaire narcissist, draft-dodging bigot who would sacrifice each and every one of you if it meant never having to publicly release the Epstein files.
Yeah. Yep.
Specifically to those in the National Guard, these are orders. You will be pressured to follow them. But if you find yourself on the streets of Portland, or agents that would have the courage to stand up against the president and the sociopaths around him, I want you to think about this. One day, Trump and his cultists will be gone. One day, you'll be forced to look back at this moment in time and evaluate what you did. One day, you'll need help in life. And when that day arrives, will it be the people that gleefully put you in this position that will be there to help you? The same people that have sent so many of those before you to die in faraway lands in the name of money? The same people that know how many veterans kill themselves every single year and do nothing about it? The same people that got into the VA and work nonstop to slash Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, and everything else that working class Americans rely on? No. They do not care what happens to you. They don't care if your faces are all over the internet. They don't care if your relationships are ruined. They don't care if this is tearing you up. They don't care if deploying you onto the streets of the United States to stick guns in the faces of anyone that would dare speak out against the regime leaves you scarred. They don't care if you blow your brains out. But you know who does? We do.
Yep. Woo!
This community does. And so if you're forced to walk around Portland or other big cities and you see for yourself that they aren't these war-ravaged hellholes that Trump and Hex have been lying to you about, please remember this. At the end of the day, when you finally take that uniform off, it's not the cowards that don't give a shit if you live or die, Whiskey Pete, or Epstein's BFF that will be there waiting for you. It will be us. It will be your community. Thank you.
I'm going to make it up to Charlie with another message. So help me out here. I messed up the script there. All right. When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
All right. We've got three more here. Dan, Jesse, and Brandon. So Dan, please come up.
I don't know about you. I am angry, frustrated, and exhausted from protesting day after day the fascist regime. I'm the president of the Portland Veterans for Peace chapter here. And I'm born and raised in Portland. But I come from a family, my grandmother was Panamanian, came to this country with my dad and my uncles in tow from Panama. And they were marked by immigration at the time as black. They thought that this was a place where they could live the American dream. And for many of them, it was. My uncle John was a paratrooper in World War II. My other uncle was a union leader with the electricians union. I come from a strong background of labor organizing.
Whoa!
And as veterans, I mean, there was a time during the Vietnam War when socialists went into the military to organize a union within the military. And right now, we need to organize our National Guard and our people in the military to disobey these illegal orders.
Yeah!
Robin said, the National Guard doesn't want to be here any more than we want to do this every day. And I agree with her. I think that most people are good people, and they should be out there fighting national disasters, not a war on people in Portland. I've seen a number of memes on social media, which I think kind of addresses some of the ideas, this terrorist nation. It had pictures of the National Guard at Voodoo Donuts. It had the National Guard at the detention center at a parade. We need to find ways to be nonviolent in our opposition to the National Guard. We need to say to our brothers and sisters in the National Guard, we want you to be a part of our movement. And you have a duty to disobey those illegal orders. In fact, the whole idea that Trump is sending troops to Portland, it's not new. He sent it during Black Lives Matter. And I still remember my eyes stinging, my barely being able to breathe as they pepper sprayed us during that period of time. But we persevered and we won. We got them to run. And we need to do the same thing today. There are people, just yesterday, I was up by Powell's bookstore as we were, a number of organizations came together to support the people in the flotilla who had been arrested by the Israelis who were being held. Two of them are from Oregon. One is Bill Reed and the other was Stephen. It just goes by Stephen. We want them to be able to come home safe, and we want the medical and food and water and filters, water filters to go directly to Gaza, where the people are being starved to death. Now, there's genocide. Our country is complicit in arming Israel and being a part of the genocide. And there's a genocide in this country, which is upon the immigrants in this country. The immigrants and the refugees that are being, as you said earlier, about people's families being separated, children being torn from their parents. That's what's going on in Gaza every day, and people are being killed. We want the fascist government to be overthrown.
Yeah.
And a regime change right here in the United States. I think about, I'm as I said, a Vietnam veteran, U.S. Marine Corps, 1968.
Wow.
Both served in, I don't actually served, actually deployed to Vietnam and deployed to the Philippines. And in both of those places, I learned immediately that we weren't there to fight for mountain, but that we were there to occupy, that we were the enemy, not the liberators. And that's what we need to understand. That's why I ended up in the group. I refused to be a part of the system at one point.
Woo! Woo!
And then the whole Vietnam War period was won by Vietnamese and by GI resistance. Thousands and thousands of people went underground, produced underground papers to enlist the support of veterans and military serving at that time to resist the war. They did things like sabotage. Now, sabotage doesn't mean you had to destroy things. Sabotage meant that you refused your orders. You refused to go into a village and kill people. You refused to take the idea that you had to obey orders without any conscience at all. I'm also a Vietnam veteran, Agent Orange victim. And when I came home, I thought I could put the war on the shelf. As many people who serve in the military think we can. We want to go on and be integrated back into our local community. But that didn't happen because a child was born. He was born with congenital heart disease, cleft palate, and other abnormalities. And, he survived it. My daughter was born a year later after that. And by the time he was 3, he had to go for surgery up at Northern OSHU. And he went for heart surgery. 10 hours of surgery, something went wrong. He went into a coma for 7 weeks. And the last day I held him in my arms, he took his breath and died. So I know what it feels like to lose a child. I know what it's like for that child to be taken from you. I know what it means to grieve. And that's what we need to do. We need to grieve for the children in Gaza. We need to grieve for the children being separated from their family. And we need to stand up and fight back.
Woo!
In Palestine for Portland, stop a fascist war machine.
Thank you, Dan. Dan helped us bring so many speakers here today too, so thanks for that extra effort. I've got Jesse up next.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jesse Valencia. I served in the Army Reserves with 56 Military Police Company from 2006 to 2011. First, I want to thank Councilor Mitch Green, About Face, and Veterans for Peace for inviting me and my fellow vets to speak here today at City Hall, and to thank Portland City Council for standing firm for protecting the integrity of our city and the integrity of the Constitution that all service members swear an oath to defend against enemies foreign and domestic. As a veteran, an organizer, and as an artist, I know what it means to face provocation on multiple fronts, to be pushed, tested, and challenged. And I've learned the hard way that even when you're right, even when you're justified to hit back harder, and especially then, your opponents are watching you, waiting for you to lose your cool so they can take advantage of the situation. Once you lose your cool, you lose control. What's happening in our city isn't about peace or safety, it's about provocation. When Trump sends federal forces into Portland, it isn't to free us from imaginary organizations, it's to agitate us, to make a TV show out of us, to create chaos amongst us so he could use it as an excuse to take even more power. But what Trump and his goofball fan base fear the most isn't unrest, it's unity. He fears cities like ours, places that believe in justice, compassion, equality, and expression. He fears the fact that we've elected the most progressive city council in Portland's history. We should be proud of that. Keep being proud of it. Leaders who are proving that democracy can be creative, compassionate, brave, and pragmatic. That's why our response matters. We can't let them bait us into anger. We can't let them define us by fear. We resist best not just with peace, but with joy. Joyful resistance is the power that tyrants cannot touch, no matter what. It's the songs we play. It's neighbors helping neighbors. It's the murals on our walls. It's the heart of this city. And it's how we show the world that Portland's spirit is unbreakable. So instead of turning down the temperature, take that energy and turn it into something positive. Stand proud, stand joyful. Let's show them that we are not afraid because Portland is united, Portland is compassionate, and Portland is free. Thank you.
Thank you, Justin. We have Brandon next, and then I added Lisa to the lineup.
Afternoon, folks. My name is Brandon. I spent 5 years active duty in 2015 United States Marine Corps infantry. I just want to share some words from the Smedley, Garlington, Butler.
Woo!
And a paraphrase that every bomb, every bullet, every F-35 helmet that costs $2 million represents a theft. A theft. That's teachers' wages that don't get increased. That's bigger classroom sizes. That's veterans dying of fentanyl overdoses on the streets because the VA gets gutted and people can't get their benefits. I grew up outside of Nellis Air Force Base. My mother is a migrant from a small coastal town called Lakinig on the island of Samar in the Visayas of the Philippines. My father is a white 20-year Air Force veteran. His father was a United States Army veteran. The U.S. military is, whether I like it or not, a part of my blood and my heritage. And so my perspective is informed by my entire life being a part of the military-industrial complex. I grew up in kindergarten hearing F-16 fighter jets flying overhead, and that was just normal. I'm here because I'm pissed off. I'm here for the same reasons every single one of you are here. Because we see injustice every single day. We witness that theft every single fucking day! You got money for wars, but can't feed the poor! We Smedley Butler, war is a racket, free Palestine, trans rights are human rights. Government is for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out. My name is Musa Megas. I'm a Navy veteran. I'm also a Palestinian. I'm also a refugee. I think what's happening right now is atrocious, not just in Gaza, but we're seeing that replicate itself home, right here. I was in a submarine. Our motto was silent service, but we cannot be silent. We cannot be silent against genocide. We cannot be silent against authoritarianism. We cannot be silent against fascism. We cannot be silent against attacks against freedom of speech. And we're seeing that today. And we have to do everything we can as veterans, as community members, as people, to stand up for what our rights are.
Mm-hmm.
The ethos of the Navy is honor, courage, and commitment. For any of those in the Navy, you know that's drilled into us. Honor, courage, and commitment. We are not seeing that in today's military. We are not seeing that from leadership in the White House. We are seeing a disgrace. We are seeing an attack on courage when people are standing up for what's right and they are being silenced and having their legal documentation stripped away from them for speaking out against genocide.
Mm-hmm.
We are seeing an attack on courage when people who are protesting to protect their community members are seen as domestic terrorists in our streets. Where is the commitment to our community? Where is the commitment to protect our country against all enemies, foreign and domestic? We need to remind these service members that the war at home is not within our community, but with the real terrorists which are sitting in the White House.
Yep.
The terrorists that go to the United Nations to justify bombing and starving of children. Those are terrorists.
Yeah.
The terrorists are not people who are standing up for their community. The terrorists are not those who are defending their homes. The terrorists are those who fund genocide, who turn a blind eye, and continue to allow this to happen. I think it is despicable. I think it is the most cowardly thing that I've ever seen, where we have military officers and Department of Homeland Security hiding their faces to not be identified.
Mm-hmm.
When we as protesters who are at the most risk are constantly showing our faces because we stand behind what we believe in.
Mm-hmm.
From Portland to Palestine, occupation is a crime.
Yeah.
From Portland to Palestine,
Occupation is a crime.
resistance is justified. People are occupied. So even within our streets, we will continue to resist. We will not bow down. We will not be silent. And we will not allow takeovers of our home. We will not allow genocide.
Yeah.
I want to thank Dan for bringing attention to the Sunni flotilla, where we have 2 Oregonians who have been taken hostage and are being tortured in Israeli prisons for doing the humanitarian thing of attempting to bring food in for starving children. That's right. Israel's considering these people as terrorists. Snatching people, and I know something about maritime law, snatching people from international waters is terrorism. Starving children is terrorism.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The only terrorists I see is Netanyahu and Ben Gvir and associates.
Yes.
Who are torturing our American citizens for doing what is right. There's a veteran flotilla as well that has been taken hostage. Veterans who risked their lives for this country. And now they have risked their lives once again for, what the right word is. They're risking their lives to fight against what our government has been doing. They are holding what they believed in, which is a fight for democracy, a fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. They have taken the risk of going and have been taken hostage by a foreign country, our quote so-called greatest ally. And where is our government? Where are those who are supposed to fight for us after we have sacrificed everything for them? I'm ashamed, but I am also honored to be standing with all of you today. Thank you.
Good job.
I want to thank, I'm going to give Mitch the last word. I really appreciate so many people coming out today. Especially want to thank all the veterans who turned out or part of the veteran contingent. If we haven't met in person or you're not linked up with someone already, make sure to talk to me or Chris or Mitch after this, so we're able to exchange info, because this is the first of many veterans mobilizations that we're going to need to be doing in the city to defend our community and to stand against Trump and his deployment. And I just wanted to end by saying that I have a lot of is that they are being told by their command, do not talk to each other about politics. That is what is being handed down. Hey, I know what's going on is crazy, don't talk about it with each other. The only reason they're saying that, and they didn't even say that during the Iraq War, the only reason they're saying that is because they know a majority of people know that this is wrong and don't want to be part of it, and they are scared that if they talk to each other, it will go beyond talking, it'll go to protesting, it'll go beyond protesting, it'll go to organizing, it'll go beyond organizing, go to resistance.
Yeah!
They know that that is possible, and they want to stop that from happening. So everyone here can play a role in that, is get those people talking. Talk to those people. Give them material to see and talk about. Give them videos to see and talk about. We want to foster that as much as possible because if the military command and the Trump administration is trying to stop that as much as possible, we can all play a role in making it happen. I want to pass over to Mitch. And once again, thank you so much for being part of this.
Thank you so much, Mike. That was excellent advice. That will spread like a wildfire, and that is unstoppable. I want to thank all of my veterans out here for using your voices today. It takes a lot of courage to speak up like this. I heard it in some of your voices. I felt the passion. This is stuff that we carry with us to the end. The feelings that we have about this, we'll always carry, that we'll never forget. And it is possible because we feel a mandate to all of you to say this is the politics of our time, and this is the politics of our town. So thank you so much for being out here. My office will not relent. I'm pushing this forward and organizing, and I know I've got some comrades over here who can help me out with it too. So from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much. Portland, we got this. We're going to stand up. We're going to be the tip of the spear. Thank you very much.
Veterans say, troops off our streets. Veterans say,
Troops off our streets!
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 Yeah. We got one good photo. A veterans person and everybody.
Who's the photographer? Any other vets who are in the group? Come